Hey, it's Craig 36 for a Holiday House Rule game. Access now as board game, um, Allied Headquarters. And I'm going to tap out. I'm going to concede. I have gone through another turn. I haven't recorded it because I was busy on Saturday was horrible with the cold, and I was out very late. Beat up this week from the cold. It's just been very cold, and UPS has been working us long hours with only one day this week that was decent. The others were 10-hour days. So I will show you where we're at. It's I was getting into a discussion with someone who about people not acting in public like you would, and and um, and when you have to surrender, it's not a pleasant, obviously, experience. You don't want to do it. Just like the baseball game where, you're good game, good game, good game, good game, but you don't want to, but you do it. And unfortunately, that's writ large, in a war where actually people do still get into uniforms and still do put a face on and do their job of, surrendering and coming to terms and even showing up to, with dignity to being executed, or to being hanged, or to being beheaded. The Apostle Paul or Jesus being crucified, knowing what was coming to him, um, and he still shows up. So, uh, dignity and defeat. So, I am going to show you the moment that I lost the game, and it was my fault. I had him on the run. I had him beat. I had a good position in Bryansk, what I call the Bryansk forward position. But you have to be very careful because he's posted up in Belarus, and I have tried to innovate with this YouTube channel to try to make it so I don't have to post as much, because obviously it's a lot easier when you streamline stuff. But this will be good. If you streamline it, you can't make a mistake, and I did. I made a YouTube mistake. In other words, my streamline. Oh, geez, this isn't right. My streamline actually killed me. So, unfortunate but true. Um, I showed it what I did for round 10. I did declare war on the neutrals. We're in round 10, America. Um, and So there's a bunch of house rules in this and technology. We each gave each other a technology. I gave him super subs, and he went off on that. Excuse me. He gave me long range aircraft, which was really generous, but super subs was really generous too, obviously. And he ended up using that to a good effect. Um, Not as good effect as if I had not lost Moscow. If I had not lost Moscow, I don't think it would look like a good move. But because I lost Moscow, I had to devote turn after turn after turn to trying to supply Moscow because I had a $30 difference, excuse me, where he didn't purchase and fell behind. So, and then saving Moscow became all out. Well, I did save Moscow. He still doesn't have Moscow. But, you know, that means you don't buy stuff that you need. And you need combat. You need boots on the ground. And that's a problem when you're having to buy aircraft, which can leap over mountaintops in order to get to in order to get there. All right, so let me show you real quick the moment I screwed it up. So here I am, Holiday House Rule game, turn 4. It's the United Kingdom, and what I did was I would do what I called the ghost turn. And the ghost turn was um, that I would assume that the Italians didn't. I would try to guess what the Italians were going to do, go by it, and just do Anzac. Well, in this case, seeing this is all one big allied turn, I forgot that right here sat the Italians and that I needed to supply Smolensk so I could stay in Bryansk. Yeah, right there. That's it. Gee, I mean, just silly. You'd never make that mistake if you were playing on the board. Even if I had the pieces set up, which I right now because of UPS and long hours and things like that, I don't have time for it. I have family responsibilities and I have responsibilities at church and just maintaining my marriage and all that kind of stuff. So, and trying to be a good dad. So, do not have time to set it up. I will, hopefully this next year I will. Um, Maybe changes taking place. So what did he do? I'll tell you what he purchased. He purchased mostly infantry. So just to be clear about it, excuse me. He has no Japanese Navy. So you know, no Japanese Navy whatsoever. I've got all the money islands. Excuse me. But he's got most of China, and he has a sizable force. I like the purchase of artillery for Japan. I did like that. Um, but I've got him. He at one point he received $20. This turn he's going to receive 35. So, it's the dog catches the car, and then, the question is, what is the dog going to do with the car? And so I succeeded over here wildly, but um, this one mistake of not holding Smolensk, not staying in Bryansk, cost me the game. So, but what did I do? So let's do this. Let's go down here. Always buy a bomber. Um, Basically, always buy a plane, always buy a destroyer, and the rest is optional. So, and we did go to war against the neutrals. And here we go. Any invasion of Spain, and I block his subs. So his subs, I was able to handle his subs after I had saved Moscow, I was able to handle the subs. He then pivoted and grabbed Caucasus and and Stalingrad, which is right there, $14. And then you get to that, $16. So you don't need Moscow. All you need to do is stay there. Bombers came in, both from the west and the east. Was able to, and then thought about doing that, did not do that. Like I said, thought about it for a long time. I thought, no. And then I did do a bombing raid on Ukraine as well as on Romania. And then I did thought about what to do with these bombers. They're so powerful, but you don't want to lose them too. So, strategic bombing raid. Let's see how it goes. Germans roll a one and shoot me down in Romania. You know, the Italians roll a five. I get 6 damage on the factory. Spain falls, and he takes three with him. Now, if he hadn't taken those three, um, he had six. He should have got two hits. Um, so that's it. Two hits would have been better, obviously, for me. But he does have technology. Germany, so, you know, it is very true that in this game, Germany has every one of these. He has rockets. He doesn't have war bonds. He has improved mech. That comes into play in this next turn when he's able to use that against Spain. Increased factory production. That made it so all my bombers, you want to use them in strat bombing, but they unfortunately your damage to the factory is 2 for 1. So as you repair 2 for 1. Here in this turn, he uses airborne to great effect, and oh, the art. And then in this the one he also blitzed with a mech in this one. So technology, big deal in this one. And yeah. So then go over there, reinforce. Uh, I'm not really describing it. I don't really need to. Then I place my fighters so I can. The thought was 67, $72. So actually, Germany's going to have more than the U.S. this turn. Of course, it doesn't have to buy ships and planes. So I was going to resupply here and then begin to work down the coast to try to do more convoying, because the convoying is so hit or miss, really is. So then we go here, and I attack Suyon, and that's I do a 1v1 with Suyon. I think. Yep, 2v1. I get the head. Fly the plane, put it in Burma, like $6. All right, I spent $5 on a tech roll. Oh, the rockets. He had rockets, and even our reduced rockets. Between the rockets and the subs, it was he was just reducing my ammo count by significant amounts, despite my owning the money islands, or despite my, just this 109 being in his hands while I was trying to save Moscow. Just put me way too far behind. Um, like I said, my mistake. We attacked Turkey. I did resupply. I should have left those there. If I had left those fighters there, um, that was a mistake. So I should have left the fighters. I forgot about the paratroopers. Uh, we take Turkey easily. We resupply, and don't think I did that. No, I just want Turkey to be over fast. And take one to Northwest Persia. Trying to figure out what to do those fighters. And I centralized them, I believe. Battle in Turkey goes well. All those hits, one shot at him, and he gets one hit, which gave me some hope. But then we fly everything over here, try to land them safely. Everything ends up in Persia, which means I can go Turkey, I can go um, Burma, or I can go Moscow. That can make it to India next turn. And Italy is correct here. He's making $29, $30 every turn. Um, so he used the rail system in this, and you look at this. I mean, it's to have that many Italians here. I mean, there's no equivalent benefit to the allies. I mean, so I didn't. I want rails. I'm just trying to figure it out, but maybe one unit. Um, but it did actually. I mean, obviously, Germany's been able to hold in Bryansk because of the Italian rail system. Period. Normally, Italy has to buy higher price things like mechs in order to make this happen. But no. With rails, he was able to make it happen with infantry, and then he's got I mean, just seven here, six here, two here, four here that wouldn't be there if it weren't for um, you know a very rail efficient Europe. So don't think I'm going to agree to that. That we got to figure something out. That I mean, I guess suppose if you put three guys on Allied boats but not Axis boats, maybe that's commensurate, or knock down Allied transports um, to $5 or $4. So, but as far as a house rule game, it's not a result you want to see. Now you say, well, that's what he chose to do, but it's morphed the game into something which historically, not even close to historically accurate. He's got what, two two-thirds of what he has for the Germans with the Italians. Just was those numbers were not correct. All right, so Gen C, I miss with both roles, fighter and a diver. He gets mine, fighter. I was sure he was going to shoot my bomber down too. Best part of the game was when his two bombers went after my two bombers, and he missed and I hit. That was my favorite part of the game. All right, so I'll just show you where it ends up. Um, so he takes over. I never noticed this slip right here, honestly. This makes it so one, two, three, four. One, two, three, four, five. So I saw a guy that was Oistello, and he took over Afghanistan so that he could fly planes directly from India to Moscow. So strong Middle East, but I was held in place in check by a strong Italian Navy because I had so much to do to save Moscow because of that one mistake. So, like I said, at this point in time, I think he's not making much money, but as the Japanese, but that is the way it goes. Mistakes are made. So impressive machine right here. This is a economic engine that I just can't beat. Um, I'm only putting five in here, which means the other five, the other 10 have got to come from somewhere else. And that means planes. And that means right here, um, he's got 309 units and I've got 300. I think that's even low. Nope. I think he puts down. No. Yeah, so 309 units to my 300. And he's buying cheap stuff and I'm buying expensive stuff. So that's only going to grow. Production is fairly good, but I will say also that the goodness of the production, he's bombing me here, and at this point in time, I can't. These have got to stay central, so they're available for Moscow. If they were over in India, I could defend, but every other turn he's going to bomb me to smithereens, and he's got his escort fighters because he's in Shan State. I can't move him out of there because I've got a mixed force. Good defense, terrible offense. He moves his fighters here, and then all of a sudden he can just raid at will, and I can't defend unless. So, as much as I love the fact that Anzac has $24, it's very hard to make it useful. I'm trying to make it useful with um, bombers. I should have stuck with the subs, and then I really could have reduced all of his income. If I had stuck with the subs, he could almost be making just this money off of China. So I should have stuck with subs. I love subs, especially for Anzac. I should have stuck with subs after, and then this would he would have almost no money because you can convoy everything. So that was dumb on my part, mistake. And then I I should have obviously bought more. I'm going to be able to take it back this turn, but for longevity, I should have hit that harder. So, but I needed to make a move in to Turkey, and it was spectacularly successful. Um, all right. Well, this painful episode is over. I have formally and with dignity surrendered, and look forward to another game with some amendments to our house rules. Crack it out.